Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Muller here. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. How's everybody getting along on this great day? Let's take a look. We got two areas in the tropics, one into the Eastern Pacific that could have some development. And guess what? We got that area in the Southern Caribbean next week. That is a bit of a long shot because it's so far out, but we're going to break down all the details for you. And there is a severe weather event that could be occurring across North America as well. We'll get into all the severe weather and beneficial rains in the Northeast, especially for Southern New England. Will we see those beneficial rains get into those areas? Let's take a look here. All right, so the tropics here, this is exactly what I wanted to look at here. 70% chance I have this red area. This could become our next named storm in the Eastern Pacific. We're starting to look at here Saturday, June 11th through Sunday, June 12th, potentially becoming some sort of named storm by the 13th, 14th, 15th. We got to watch. It may approach areas that were affected by Agatha. One thing to note, it could swing as far east here and as far west here. This is why I have a large area of 70% chance, because we could be looking at the potential here for a large area being affected, and the steering currents are very weak, as you can see. Now, I do have a 20% chance here. Take this one with more of a grain of salt because, I have a 20% chance. This is pretty far out. Thursday, June 16th through Sunday, June 19th. We could be looking at some sort of low-pressure system here in the Western and Southern Caribbean develop and move to the northwest towards the Gulf of Mexico. So let's take a look at the modeling and see exactly what is going on here. So the tropical weather models here. Let's take a look first at the GFS. You see we put this into motion towards the weekend. There it is. We start to see this area in the Eastern Pacific start to take root here. Look at this. This is interesting. We have a low already down here in the Southern Caribbean. So as we continue to put this into motion throughout time, that low might feed into the energy of the weekend low here in the Eastern Pacific. This is Saturday, June 11th. This is the time frame that I wanted you to start looking at here. And this continues to form some sort of tropical system here into Monday. Look at this, June 13th. Here's another low here across Central America, but there is the primary low. And look at that. As we continue to put this into motion towards Tuesday, this tries to develop it into something, maybe somewhat of a hurricane. It wants to hook it like this, back towards Central America. It might be up towards like this, or we can see that. This is a really, really interesting Eastern Pacific, we have going here. And then here is another low. This is what we've got to watch here towards June 16th as we get into it. And look at that. As we put that in time, now the GFS has kind of slowed this low pressure down here and then making landfall towards almost where Agatha did. Look at this. And then there's that secondary low. This is June 16th. So as we continue to put this into motion, this energy kind of continues to wash out here across Central America. We have this low pressure here. Now, don't focus on any one point. The trend is what we're looking for here. And the last couple model runs had this storm becoming a hurricane in the North Caribbean. Now the GFS is kind of slowed down a little bit on this system. So we'll watch this. It has more of a broad low pressure system that's a bit weaker. All right, so let's look at the big picture of the tropics here. It's always really good to get a whole idea of what's going on here. We got two high pressure systems out here in the Atlantic. Intertropical convergence zone remaining pretty far to the south, so we're not really concerned about this at the moment. But it is all this area down here from the central, southern, western Caribbean into the Eastern Pacific. This is where things get, interesting. So we head in time here and look at this. There is a lot of organization in time across the Eastern Pacific and the Southern Caribbean, and these will help feed into each other at this point. You see some of these low pressure systems developing down in here. This is towards June 12th here. Take a look at that. So you got a couple areas of low pressure. So we'll have to watch this. The Euro's not quite picking up on some of these just yet. But look at this in time. The GFS kind of really runs with this low pressure system. And then there's a secondary system here on the Caribbean side. And whether this moves to the north and the energy merges into the Gulf, and what happens with this low pressure? Well, the GFS continues to take it more towards the northwest. You can see there is energy down in here after whatever's left of the system makes landfall. There's the low pressure system. This is by Friday, June 17th. So this is getting pretty far out. But if you take a look, high pressure, you have two high pressures out here. So this is going to keep, things going around the outer periphery like this. So depending on where this low pressure system is, we'll see by this time, a lot can change between now and then. But look at that. High pressure building further west here. That should keep things flowing, whatever energy is going on, into the Gulf of Mexico. Definitely going to be open for business here of whatever system we see move to the north here. And, we're getting pretty far out here. Monday, June 20th. Look at this. Yeah, it's showing some area of very broad low pressure system. Now, keep in mind the previous model run on the GFS had the system over here. But look at this high pressure system. It's kind of building west here, so that kind of says something there. All right, so the good old infrared high-resolution satellite. We got an area of thunderstorms here that's kind of persistent, but, it is moving towards land, towards the northwest. We do have this tail end of this front. We'll have to watch that, but at the moment, the short term, I don't see anything developing. Here's the Eastern Pacific. Yeah, very active, very robust. There's another system down here that'll eventually cross over. Help feed some of this energy. But look at that. At the moment, the Gulf of Mexico is definitely clear as a bell here. And as you can see here, there is that trough across the central part of the North American continent. That's going to be dropping down. You can see all that dry air there in the Gulf. We do have, there's the intertropical convergence zone. It's coming up a little bit to the north here in time, but I don't see anything developing there. And the Caribbean at the moment, for the most part, is clear. You got that system here in the Southern Caribbean. And infrared, there we go. Yeah, there's some clusters out here, but at the time you can see a lot of wind shear. So if any of these get too far and too frisky to the north, they're going to be sheared apart by this wind shear. There's that area, along the tail end of a front. We'll have to watch that, but I don't see that developing in the short term. There's that system over the southern plains and the Mississippi River Valley. That's pretty vigorous. That's going to be dropping down across the Gulf. And there's the Eastern Pacific just heating up here. Now, I wanted to show you something that we can only see on the visible satellite photo. See this haziness in here? Look at all this. This is African dust just coming right off of the African continent here. So, as you can see in areas where there is dust, it is inhibiting any development. It stabilizes, so to speak. So you can't really get all of these, water particles conglomerating together. I mean, you can, but look at, see that one there, that upper level low, it's kind of moisture starved. So that is essentially what's going on out here into the Atlantic. I expect that dust to slowly dissipate, though, as the season wears on. So let's take the next week here for the upper pattern, and then we'll switch over to the medium range model. Take a look. Yep, the problem here across the northeast is going to be this trough, and that's why conditions will remain a little bit cooler and wetter than average here across the northeast, at least in the short term. See that ridge out west? That big old ridge developing, and you have this massive trough here into the Gulf of Alaska. As we go throughout time, that trough, unfortunately, stays tough through the weekend here across the northeast. You have this blocking high pressure system off of the east coast. And look at this. This blue, light blue area denoted down in the tropics, it's going to remain unsettled down here. So any system, that does form, that high pressure is blocking to the east here. And we have that trough here across parts of the southern plains. So anything could be picked up here into the Gulf in time here. So you see we continue to head throughout next week, Monday. Yeah, we actually have the tail of two troughs here, the Pacific Northwest, and then one here into the Northeast as well. Take a look at that. And that hangs tough. We try to get a ridge developing come next Wednesday here, June 15th. So finally, some ridging taking effect, and big old trough here across northwestern North America. There's that system being picked up here. Potential maybe tropical storm or hurricane in the eastern Pacific. So that is interesting. And then we head throughout time, that ridge builds across much of the central part of the United States here. Big old trough here across the west, and that trough trying to build here across the northeast as we head towards Friday, June 17th here in time. And take a look at that. Yeah, unfortunately, that trough really reinforces here by Sunday, June 19th at this point. And take a look here across the tropics. You have some unsettled conditions that remain here across the tropical areas. So the CFS medium range model, let's pick up where the GFS left off. There's that trough, pretty much agreeing with the GFS, big old ridge across the central part and a blocking ridge here across the east coast. So take a look at this as we head throughout time, the rest of June. Yeah, Big old ridge out west, big old trough here in the east. So any tropical systems may come up like this and then be deflected back east here. We have that high pressure out here into the Atlantic. But look at that. The pattern remains pretty robust, meaning pretty intense for late June here. Look at this. We have even the chance of some cutoff low pressure systems here this late in the season. So as we head towards Wednesday evening, there's going to be two areas that we're going to watch for severe weather. Of course, anywhere in these darker green, it's a marginal risk, so you got to watch out for that. But it's across parts of the Ohio Valley, southern Indiana, and then down and through parts of the south here. We're going to watch for severe thunderstorms. Some of these could contain damaging wind, large hail, isolated tornado threat is possible. And as we head into the tornado threat here, take a look. It's actually greatest here across parts of southern Ohio, central Indiana, and southern Indiana. So you're going to want to watch out for this. We might actually have some stronger storms head towards the Pittsburgh area as we get into Wednesday evening as well. And as we head towards the hail threat, yeah, it's pretty high here across parts of Ohio, Indiana as well. And look at this. As we head towards the wind threat, it's actually pretty high across the Ohio Valley and into the southern states here as well. All right, so severe weather is going to be the big story here on the North American continent. Take a look at the central and southern plains here, from central Nebraska down to Oklahoma, Panhandle, Texas, northeastern New Mexico. We're under the gun here on your Thursday for some problems. And that translates into tornadoes. Yeah, it's not going to be a widespread tornado outbreak, but look at that. About a 2% chance at any given point. Hail threat is really high into this hatched area here across portions of the plains. And winds are going to be a big problem as well. And as we head into your Wednesday, take a look at this. This shifts to the southeast. We're going to have some problems here across southern Arkansas, down and through Mississippi, and maybe parts of Alabama, the Panhandle, Florida. Not a major outbreak, but nevertheless, we'll watch it here for your Friday. All right, so the NAM 3 kilometer here as we go throughout the rest of your Wednesday evening into Thursday night. Look at this big old line here across the Ohio Valley into portions of Kentucky, Tennessee, and down and through parts of the South and the Mid-Atlantic here. We'll watch this move into the Northeast for your Thursday. Take a look at this vigorous low-pressure system. It's not really strong, but it is vigorous. It's got some dynamics to work with here. And look at that. That heads throughout the day to Pennsylvania, New York State. We're going to have some showers and some embedded thunderstorms. I'm not looking at anything severe as I showed you on those severe weather maps, but look at that. We will have some heavier rain. Now, will some of this beneficial rain get into parts of, well, let's take a look here, southern New England. So, here it is. We zoom into the Northeast. Yep. Wednesday evening into Wednesday night, we have this vigorous line of showers and thunderstorms. Some of these could be embedded strong, maybe some isolated severe. Look at this here down here. We have some areas of showers and thunderstorms as well into parts of Maryland and northern Virginia. So we'll have to watch some of those. Heavy rain's going to be the big deal, though. Look at that as we head throughout the night, Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. That line kind of breaks apart here across the Northeast. We have some heavier showers and some embedded thunderstorms, and maybe some thunderstorms developing out ahead of it in eastern Pennsylvania as well. We head throughout the day on your Thursday. Look at this. Binghamton up to the Catskills, Poconos, Hudson Valley, into parts of northern Pennsylvania. It is just going to be a miserable day. Temperatures are going to be held down into the 60s across this circled area, and you will have some embedded thunderstorms, especially here in the southern tier of New York, northeast Pennsylvania, as we head throughout the day. Take a look at this. This winds up across the Binghamton area towards, this is just after sunrise, heading towards your noontime. It will be moving out, though, so if you want to get out and get some lunch, yeah, things might be clearing out. It stay mostly cloudy, though. But take a look here. It moves into central New England. So let's back this up a couple frames. We try to get some of these heavier cells into southern New England where the drought is continuing to get worse. But all of the heavier rain, look at this, stays to the north. This is not very good news. Look at this. We do get some embedded thunder showers here. So you might have some areas that pick up a quick inch or so. 3/4 of an inch to an inch, which is going to be good news, but it's not going to be the all-day soaking rain that you really need here across southern New England. See how quickly it moves out? This is by about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And you do get a resurgence of some of these thunder showers and thunderstorms here across Binghamton, Wilkes-Barre area, but look at that. It's not going to be like an all-widespread, all-day event. As we head into Friday, look at that. Friday's going to be a pretty nice day. We do have some embedded showers and thunderstorms kicking up here, maybe less than a 10% chance at any given point, but there you have it. And I wanted to show you this thunderstorm complex that gets going here later Wednesday. There's that low pressure system, so we might have some frisky thunderstorms, maybe some damaging wind, large hail along this line here as it moves through Indiana, parts of western Ohio, down and through the Kentucky area. So look at how that moves east towards the overnight hours. To show you this out here in the plains, this is towards Friday. Watch this area right here as we go into motion. You can see a mesoscale convective system really starts to develop here, a big old complex, and this is going to dive south here towards that area for Friday. That's looking like a potential severe here across parts of Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma, and you see that drop southward throughout the day on Friday. All right, so taking a look at the drought map, yeah, continuing out west here, this is a long-term drought, but here across southern New England, take a look at this. Yes, we are heading towards we're in a severe drought here across parts of southeastern Massachusetts. It includes the Boston area, back towards Hartford, and parts of Cape Cod here. Rhode Island is also included. So that's a big question. Will we see any rain to alleviate this? So taking a look at rainfall amounts from later Wednesday into Thursday, mainly Thursday here across the Northeast. This takes us through the day on Thursday. Look at this. So yeah, southern New England here, some of these isolated pockets of heavier showers and thunderstorms, we'll have to see if this verifies because we might be approaching over an inch here, inch and a half in some of these locations, southern Connecticut, Rhode Island. Back towards Binghamton, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, maybe 3/4 of an inch in some of these heavier showers and thunder showers. Bring this up the other this NAM 3 kilometer total precipitation because I just showed you the Euro. Take a look what the NAM 3 kilometer does here. This is really interesting. Yeah. So the Euro kind of hits southern New England with a lot of rain, but you know, at this point the NAM's not really on board with that. You know, we're having some rain here, but it's well less than an inch. We're towards 1/3 of an inch here, maybe to 1/2 an inch, and towards northern sections here, maybe up towards 3/4 to 1 inch. But I want to draw your attention here towards portions of northern Pennsylvania, central Ohio, into upstate New York. This is interesting. We'll have to watch this because some of these areas, I'm not really buying 4 inches here into parts of Shenango County, New York, but you know, this is something to watch. The low pressure, this is the path of the low, essentially. So, you know, to the northwest of this low, you do set up these heavier bands of rain, and you know, 2 inches around Binghamton, Elmira, Ithaca, Utica. We'll have to watch this. You know, if we get towards, we might have, you know, we're not going to have major flooding problems, but we might have some of those, you know, areas that have poor drainage problems. You know, some of the smaller creeks might have a little maybe problem with this, but, you know, it's been dry, so thankfully. All right, so taking a look at rainfall through the nation here in North America through your Saturday. So this is basically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, part of Wednesday as well. Yeah, there's that band across the Northeast. We'll have to watch that. You know, New England, maybe hopefully to southern New England, we can get more of some back building on some of these thunder showers on your day on Thursday, but don't count on it. You've been getting missed a lot. And look at this. Here across Arkansas, eastern part of Oklahoma, we'll have that mesoscale convective system. We'll have to watch some showers and thunderstorms later Wednesday and early Thursday here across the Midwest as well. And look at this. We have some pop-up gully washers down here on the Florida Peninsula. And taking a look at Joe Drehos from the Johnson City, New York area back on June 1st. There were strong to severe thunderstorms moving through the area. Take a look. And as you can see, there was some small hail mixed in as well. Some of these larger hail pieces, you know, looking more beyond pea size, looking more on the order of marble size there. Taking a lot of leaves off the trees as well. Take a look at those hailstones bouncing around on the pavement there. This was quite a strong thunderstorm day across the Johnson City, New York area near Binghamton, New York. So look at that. And there was torrential rains as well. Look what it was doing to the trees here. And you see those hailstones bouncing, taking down some of those leaves. Nice captures here. Joe Drehos from the Johnson City, New York area. And here we go. John, he is in the Beckham Park, Leytonstone, London, UK area. Take a look at those beautiful blue skies across the area, just cruising along on the area roadways. Nice captures here, John. Get out there and enjoy that. So it's nice to see the area across the pond is experiencing nice weather as well. So as we head throughout time, there's that low pressure. It kicks up through on Thursday, and there's another one here on Saturday. So you could be looking at some problems here across the Northeast, especially eastern Pennsylvania, through parts of the Catskills, Poconos, lower Hudson Valley, and then towards New Jersey as the day wears on Saturday. But that slowly kicks out. You see we have another, the pattern here is these little light lows, these upper level lows, kind of pinwheeling around this trough here that's stuck across eastern North America. And as we continue to put this into time next week, look at this. We try to get some maybe secondary development, almost resembling a weak nor'easter, and we still have some showers here stuck across parts of the Northeast, and that low pressure pinwheels around just like this. And then we get more severe weather potential later in the weekend across the central and northern plains, so we'll have to watch for that. But look at that. That's a big old low stuck here across parts of Maine. You could be having some wet weather here into late Monday into early Tuesday. And as we kick the pattern throughout next week, we try to build high pressure here across the Northeast. But look at this. We have some showers and thunderstorms here across the Southeast, and a big old massive low up here right into central Canada. As we head throughout next week, we have essentially what they call a dirty high. It's kind of retreating to the east, and you have some showers next Friday, June 17th across the Northeast. All right, I wanted to show you temperatures across the Northeast, particularly for your Thursday here, because this is interesting. So right across the Northeast here, you're not going to get out of the 60s here, and this is where this low pressure system rides. This is that area that could see the heaviest rain right here. So it's going to hold temperatures down, even though the low is going to be moving pretty quickly. Even in the afternoon, it'll take a while for any of those clouds to burn off and fog. So you're going to be crippled here as far as temperatures. You're not going to make it to 70 in places like Binghamton. Maybe Albany you might. Elmira, Ithaca, up to Utica, into parts of northern New England here. It's south of the front. Look at this, parts of the Catskills, lower Hudson Valley. Look at this, even towards 80 into parts of Harrisburg here, mid to high 70s in New York City. So once you get south, and this is why I'm not, I'm kind of pessimistic in southern New England of putting a dent in this drought, because look at this, you remain south of this low pressure system, so you might have some heavier showers and thunder showers, but for the most part, it's not going to be a solid rain like upper Susquehanna River Valley from Binghamton to Scranton. Take a look at this Thursday through Monday. Yeah, it's going to be a stormy time of it. We might have some embedded showers and thunderstorms, especially some embedded thunderstorms on Thursday. We're heading up towards about a half an inch of rain, but that could actually be locally higher in some of these heavier bands that set up. Localized areas over an inch. Heading up towards only 64 degrees as those temperatures will be held down by the clouds and rain on Friday. Sunny skies is your best day, 75. Get out there and enjoy it. Saturday, we have another low pressure move in. Showers, 70 degrees, maybe up to a quarter inch. Sunday and Monday, we have some scattered showers around. We'll start to head up towards the mid-70s. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button. Hit the subscribe and bell button if you haven't already so you're alerted when I come out with one of these videos. I do have the Hurricane 2022 Outlook link in the description down below. If you haven't watched it already, go ahead and watch it. I go through the whole hurricane season of what I think is going to happen. You can visit me on social media. I have lots of little micro weather updates. Meteor Mark on Facebook. Also, Hurricane Northeastern for the hurricanes, and also Weather Northeastern. If you're into my local, very localized weather from Binghamton to Elmira, upper Susquehanna River Valley, it's at Susquehanna Weather on Facebook. Also at Weather Eastern on Twitter, MeteorMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. Thank you for joining me.